It is a beautiful fall day and the sun is brightening the world. Hi, today we are going to talk about something that has recently popped up in my life. Well, I guess I wouldn't say recently popped up, but something I recently recognized in my life, and that is seeking attention for oneself. Now, when I say seeking attention, I don't mean like the childish kind of way where it's like a kid in the middle of the living room floor doing something bizarre to gain the attention of you and any guests you may have. I'm talking more like only doing things that will bring attention or approval to you and not really doing many other things, I guess. That may not make any sense, but let's get going. The reason I've been thinking about this is because a couple weeks ago when I thought of the idea for this video, I realized that a lot of times when I'm in like a public setting or something, I'll kind of just be going around trying to gain attention or approval from other people. I'll want them to, show interest in me or pay attention to me, and that usually leads to me going around picking the people who I know the most because I know that they are the most likely to show me that attention, I guess. And so I recognized that, and I kind of just started doing some thinking on it, like realizing that my behaviors aren't necessarily the best. So what this looks like a lot of times is me being in some sort of public setting, and I'll be going around looking for like a conversation to join in on, or some people that I know well so that I can start talking to them and doing something fun like that, I guess. And a lot of times I'll like interject myself into a conversation because like, oh, they're talking, I have something funny that I can add to that, and make people laugh, I guess, make them appreciate me or something. Because I know that those people are most likely to pay me attention and show approval to me and, laugh at my terrible jokes and whatnot. Not that I have any. So I go around looking for people like that, and when there aren't people, either because they're busy doing something or there aren't that many people I know there, I just kind of wander around and don't do much at all. And so what this leads to a lot is I'll gravitate towards the people I know well already and who will be most likely to, out of the box, appreciate me. And I don't really go up to somebody new very often and just start a conversation with them. Right away I was ignoring a lot of people, basically. If I didn't know someone, I just kind of pass them over. A lot of times this leads to me just hanging around one or two people, playing a lot of foosball. So I started thinking about this and meditating on it and doing a little bit of studying, trying to figure out, okay, so I'm pretty sure that there's some stuff wrong here. Something needs to change because I'm basically just focused on myself, on getting attention for myself. So something needs to change here. The focus is wrong. And so I found a couple passages that furthered my understanding of this topic, and hopefully they'll be of some benefit to you as well. So the first passage is going to be Matthew 5:43 through 48, and I'm just going to read it right here. So, you have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven. For he causes his sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sends rain on the unrighteous and the righteous. For if you love those who love you, what reward do you have? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? If you greet only your brothers, what more are you doing than others? Do not even the Gentiles do the same? Bringing that to my own situation, that's pretty much what I'm doing. There are definitely people that I don't know as well, and they don't get very much of my attention. I just kind of forego them and focus more on the people who I'm already friends with, who have already shown me love, and those are the people I devote my time, my attention, my love to. What this passage is saying, at least what it says to me, is if you're just doing that, what are you doing that is setting you apart from anyone else in the world? Your behavior could just be anybody's behavior, because everybody does that. Everybody loves the people who love them. People who are kind to you, you're more likely to be kind to them. So it made me think, okay, what am I doing that is different, It makes me question whether I am loving my neighbor in the biblical sense rather than just loving those who already love me. Another passage that I found informative, and there are actually like 5 passages like this, each gospel actually has something like this actually, it's pretty cool, is Matthew 16:25 and thereabouts, starting in 24 actually. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "If anyone wishes to come after me, he must deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever wishes to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul? Or what will a man gain in exchange for his soul?" To me, this kind of highlights that what we should be doing is putting our own wants and desires aside, I would say. Denying ourselves, as the passage says. Denying what we want and choosing instead to follow Christ. And it uses this imagery of taking up your cross, carrying your cross. It's not something easy necessarily. We deny ourselves, we put our own wants aside, and we follow Christ. We do the harder thing, maybe the less desirable thing, the thing that leads to less immediate return for us. But we're supposed to do that. We're supposed to push ourselves aside and do His will instead. And I think this question that he puts forth is a really powerful one. It's, what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world, yet loses or forfeits himself? It's just that idea of like, I kind of see that as being like the ultimate misplace in priorities. Is you've gained so much, but it's all going to pass away, and you've lost what was truly important. Your priorities were wrong, and I kind of see that to maybe a lesser extent in my own behaviors in myself, is that I'm trying to gain a piece of the world, and yet I am forfeiting a piece of the true love that should be there. I am forfeiting doing what I think is more proper, what Christ wants me to do, which is to not be so focused on myself, is to focus more on other people and on Him. And really, when you're seeking attention for yourself, it's closely tied in with like being proud and being selfish, because you're seeking yourself. Thinking back to the last video I made with those goofy stick figures, it makes me think about the Pharisee. The Pharisee, he was doing some good things, but he had his focuses wrong, and he was doing things for the wrong reasons. He was missing something. And I think when, like for me, when I go around trying to seek attention for myself, I'm missing something too. And while I may not be doing anything wrong, I'm definitely not working towards God. I'm not working towards helping other people. It's really only satisfying this subconscious desire within myself. It's not a matter of loving God or loving others, which is what I should be doing. Really, most of Matthew 6 has a lot of these ideas of, okay, if you do this good thing, you have to make sure that you are doing it for the glory of God and for the right reasons, not for gaining attention for yourself. So here, if I just flip there real quick, it has lots of ideas of, so like, beware of practicing your righteousness before men, to be noticed by men. Otherwise you have no reward with your Father who is in heaven. Or, so when you give to the poor, do not sound a trumpet before you as the hypocrites do, so that you may be honored by men. Truly I say to you, they have their reward in full. Or when you pray, you are not to pray like the hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and on the street corners, so that they may be seen by men. Truly I say to you, they have their reward in full. And in each of those, it also has this idea of, if you seek attention for yourself during this life, you've already got your reward. You've been given, that good feeling, that fuzzy feeling you get when you get attention from people. That's what you're getting, and that's all you're going to get for what you just did. You're not going to reap the real reward of righteousness. Verses like these, passages like these, kind of highlight why what I'm doing is wrong, and also give a glimpse as to how I can fix it. So the ultimate question is, what is the proper way to live with regards to seeking attention? And the unsatisfying answer is that I don't have the perfect answer. I have pieces of an answer that I think add up to something pretty close to what is right, but I can't say that it's right because on all of this, I am still very much struggling myself. The best of an answer I can come up with is there's several things. And the first thing is, don't forfeit part of yourself to gain part of the world. Do not do something just so that you can be rewarded physically, so you can have the feeling of satisfaction, or so that you can feel that people like you or something. Because if you have your focus set on the things of this world, it doesn't really matter what you're doing. You could be doing a very good thing, but if you are doing it for the wrong reason, the end result is something flawed, something bent, something that isn't right completely. Another thing is, give yourself up for God. Like the passage in Matthew 16 said, deny yourself daily and pick up your cross. It's a daily struggle to put aside what we want most, the physical things that drive us, and decide to live for Christ instead. It's not an easy thing, but it's a daily struggle. It says even, deny yourself daily. It's not just, you can't just do it once or do it for a little while and then you're good. It's an everyday battle, and it's not easy. So give yourself up for God. Just surrender yourself to God and just say, okay, I'm going to live for you. And just start by doing that in little ways. One more thing I would suppose, which is just kind of a reiteration of the last video, is love God and love others. Really, you have to focus on God and others if you want to be in the correct place. And it's probably going to be something that I'm going to come back to later, because it's something I'm working on and I think it's really important. What are some ways that I can bring glory to God in this situation? And also, what are some ways that I can help people? What are some ways that I can be an encouragement or benefit to somebody else here in this setting? How can I go and talk to somebody else, maybe I've never talked before, and encourage them, lift them up, show them love for no apparent reason? That's going to be my approach. And like I said, it may not be the perfect approach. I don't have the perfect approach. If I did, I wouldn't be making this video, because I wouldn't be struggling with it. Each one of my videos so far has been a little bit different, and that's because I'm still trying to figure out what in the world I'm doing. I'm figuring things out both in relation to this YouTube thing and my own personal life, what's going on. I'm just figuring stuff out. But I'm going to keep trying. Hopefully I'll be making another video soon, and hopefully it won't also, again, radically change in style. Maybe we'll go back to stick figures, maybe we'll do something new, who knows. I'm also going to drink my tea. This time the tea is not salty, it's wonderful actually. Even though my tea is not salty, I hope that after today we will all be much saltier people. Have the best week you possibly can, and I love you all. Bye.